Well, it's Saturday the 29th of June, and this is episode 2413 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. Super quick message for 301's paid supporters. Issue 10 of my zine went out in the post yesterday, so it's making its way to you via snail mail as we speak. As always, please post a photo on social media when it arrives. I love seeing them in people's hands. If you listen to this show and would like one too, I have a few overprints left, so if you subscribe now, I'll send you the current issue and the back issue. Head over to thejmo.net/zine or startselectreset.com and sign up today. A friend the other day was telling me about their ongoing struggles with distraction. We all suffer with this. I do too. Of course, throughout our conversation, I played all my hits. The need to develop good taste online, going deep, the doing, and of course, the most important fact, that your attention is sovereign. My friend expressed a deep frustration with how technology captures, quantifies, and commoditizes their attention. Everything about right now is defined by decline in our attentional spans and ability to focus. But the main thing that struck me throughout our conversation was the framing, the challenge of online distraction as a battle for attention. A couple of years ago, I think I would have agreed. Sure, advertising and any media trying to promote itself operates under the assumption that it's competing for our attention, and what's going on out there in the semiotic sphere, the competing signs and symbols and media, sure feel like a battle. But what about here, in our own psyches? Should we see it as a battle? Do we want to be at constant war? Instead, I suggested, we should abandon the external battle of attention and instead engage in an internal conflict of disinterest. Back in 2019, when I wrote Your Attention is Sovereign, I broke the statement down into two parts. You, personally, get to decide where you put your attention. And two, by acknowledging this fact, you have to take full responsibility for where you have put your attention in the past and where you will put it in the future. But on reflection, this is battle for attention thinking. Mastery of attention is less about what you see and more about what you choose to overlook. It's about making active choices about the things that you choose not to pay any attention to. This is somewhat related to what I was saying in episode 2303 about taste and the practice of discernment, the ability to choose one thing over the other. The conflict of disinterest is a two-step dance, one step towards what matters and one step away from what doesn't. If a piece of information or media engaged in the attention battle does reach you, the conflict of disinterest inside of you should ask, who cares? If you personally care, then great. If you don't, then pretend it doesn't exist and move on. There are a great deal of quote-unquote normal things that I have chosen a conflict of disinterest over. When I say that I take a disinterest, I mean I actively come into conflict with the media environment around me and choose not to pay attention to it. I don't care about football. I don't care about the entire medium known as film and television. I'm also not interested in cars, fashion, or gossip. Well, I'm not interested in gossip about strangers. I'm very interested in gossip about my friends. To illustrate the depth of my cultivated ignorance, here's a personal anecdote. Until well after he had retired from playing the game, I had no idea that the English footballer Ashley Cole was black. Now, if something that you have actively chosen not to care about is unavoidable, then what do you do about it? The answer is nothing. You let it pass. Don't ever yuck someone else's yum. Just be silent. Only people who are engaged in the logic of the attention battle would get mad and rant. Ranting just means that the thing that you don't like or don't care about gets larger in your attentional sphere. It grows in importance instead of not being present at all. If you are sick of the world feeling like it's made up of endless noise, you don't start shouting too. When you choose to take an interest in something in particular, you choose to be disinterested in a much wider spectrum of possibilities. The conflict of disinterest, therefore, is the cultivation of a kind of productive apathy or an anti-focus, a strategic indifference. It's about recognizing that not everything deserves our emotional investment or cognitive resources. In an era when we are constantly bombarded with information, messages, and stimuli, productive apathy allows us to conserve our mental energy for what truly matters. It is a choice to pay attention to the voice of your friend across from you at the dinner table, which is downstream of a much more important decision, the exclusion of everything else happening in the restaurant, the clinking of the plates, the family chatting at the table next door, or the phone in your pocket. Paying attention to anything fully is an act of cognitive sovereignty, but you master your attention by deciding not just what to engage with, but also, and perhaps most importantly, what you ignore.